Hey everyone, welcome back. Another video today. It may seem a little different because if you saw in the thumbnail, I'm talking about gut health. I do a lot with this in my clinics, but I'm talking about a faith-based approach to fixing our gut. And you may think that sounds like the weirdest combination, but I will tell you, I'm going to tell you my story. I hope this doesn't get too long. I'll try not to, but I learned the hard way. I learned this the hard way. And I'll explain why I believe, I'm throwing my notes around, why I believe it needs to be faith-based. So the reason I wanted to do a video on this is because I have learned over the years doing evals with patients, and we will always ask about gut symptoms, about chronic constipation, diarrhea, bloating, gas, acid reflux, and all the things. And I was shocked when I first started doing this. And the more I would, I'm telling you, probably 85 to 90% of the patients said yes to something. Like, this is so normal. But a lot of people that I talk to, it's chronic, it's life disrupting, or it has been gone on for years, for decades, and they just didn't know that there was anything they could do about it. Or I also think a lot of times there's, I don't know if I call it an epidemic in our world, but there's so much that can disrupt the gut right now, that in our culture, just chronic stress alone. There is a nerve that runs right from the brain down into the gut. There is a connection, direct connection between the brain and the gut. So when this is messed up, the gut's messed up. In fact, my daughter even calls it anxiety belly. When she gets anxiety, she can feel it in her gut, right? And how many of us are spinning and struggling and have so much going on with our mental health can affect the gut. So of course we're going to have issues. Medications, lots of rounds of antibiotics, as needed as they may be at sometimes, they decimate the good bacteria. And so even though you're not dealing with that sickness that the antibiotics cured, your gut is a mess. And our diet in America, or in our world, you may not be listening from America, but the modern diet does not really include a lot of things that build the gut, fermented and probiotic things. So also you can have food sensitivities and food intolerances, especially again with modern food that has chemicals, that has dyes, just so many changes to our food base. We can be sensitive to that, or even a lot of sugar and carbs. You're going to hate this, but candida, a lot of the good yeast, the things that we have in our body to help break food down, they love sugar and can explode and get overgrown. You can get an overgrowth in your gut. So many issues that can drive this. And so I've been working in clinics that often charge, $1,500 to several thousand to do a gut program. And so I wanted to do a quick video on where do I start if I don't want to do that. Where can I start? Pretty much, and I'm on the functional medicine end. I've again worked in several clinics that take this approach. The functional medicine approach right now, that's really, really popular, and clinics are popping up all over taking this approach. It's kind of a two-step approach when you're going to try to fix the gut. One would be an elimination diet, some form of elimination diet, where you're taking out the inflammatory things that could be inflammatory for you. Gluten, dairy, oils, sometimes even like nuts and seeds, and just different things depending on the program, depending on the clinic, the office. Just taking them out for a while and then adding them back in to see if you react. So that's one step that is very, very common and can be helpful, but man, I learned the hard way on that one, and we'll talk about that in a sec. The second approach, the second step, would be adding some type of supplementation to help support your gut microbiome. Probiotics, but you can't just go and start taking probiotics. Sometimes if you've got leaky gut, we could go so long on all of these. I hope I'm not confusing you by the time I'm done, but sometimes just adding a probiotic, unless you're killing off the bad stuff and getting things rebalanced and figuring out what foods are inflaming it, just taking a probiotic isn't sometimes going to help. Sometimes that's enough for people, but sometimes it isn't. So let's just talk about some basic steps if you want to try to improve some things on your own. And I will give you some products and recommendations, but let me just say right now, they might change I'll just watch this video over time, and I might come back and add new products to the list that I haven't talked about in the video. So if you're watching this down the road after I filmed it and you see different products, it's because I've found better things. I'm always on the hunt for good gut support supplements. Supplements are not regulated, at least in the United States. And so you can really put, like those Walmart supplements, guys, very rarely are you going to get a good quality supplement that will work the way. It's not whole food based, it's synthetic, it's made in a factory out of chemicals. Going to a good health food store is a good start on that too. Okay, so like I told you, generally the 2 steps are an elimination diet, some form of it, and then getting some supplementation. So I did, starting in January, started a 75-day gut health program because it was a new one for our office. I'd done other ones, but this is one I had seen patients have success with. I'll try to slow down. But I had never done it, and I figure I need to know what people are going through if I'm going to be working with people on this gut health program. So I started this, and I just dove in and just jumped into the elimination diet, cut all kinds of things out of my diet. I mean, you're left with healthy food, so I didn't think it was that big of a deal. You're left with vegetables and some clean meat and smoothies and some fruit, but all seeds were out, all dairy was out, all nuts, all eggs were even out on the diet that I did. My company, the one I did it through, is called Blueprint, but there's a lot of different ones. So here I was, like, oh, and then I started the supplements. It was some shakes and some drops to kill off all the bad stuff. And the shakes had like 6 or 7 good herbal things included in it. So on the outside, from a health coach perspective, it looked like a no-brainer. The elimination diet, I was not eating sugar. I was not eating anything unhealthy. I thought I'd be okay. And then I dove into all the supplements. They were all natural. My body was not happy. I slammed into a wall. I had worse symptoms. And then I kept pushing through because again, when you start to detox the body, sometimes you can feel worse before you get better. And so I just kind of tried to keep pushing. And long story short, by the time I was done and I had done more homework, and the number one thing I realized I had not done, you guys, this is the focus of my whole channel. I had not gone into that program prayerfully. And I can't even believe I'm saying that. I had not gone into that program prayerfully, because on the outside, it looked safe. It looked great. It looked, all the things that I know about health and natural medicine, and it looked great. For me personally, I changed my diet too much and my blood sugar went nuts. The only protein source on that elimination diet was meat, and I did not do well with having that much meat. So I just didn't eat as much and my protein level just plummeted. My serotonin plummeted. My hair even got like brittle because I wasn't eating enough protein. I was not paying attention and I was not being prayerful. So I'm not saying don't try one of these programs. I'm not saying elimination diets can't be so helpful. Prayerful, faith-based approach where we are on our knees and going, okay, Lord, is this the right program for me? Even if it is, He may prompt you to add some tweaks to it. He may lead you to a practitioner or a coach that can help you tweak it. I needed an adapted elimination diet, and I realize that now. I needed to just very specifically tweak it for my body chemistry, and I think a lot of us with sugar-sensitive bodies that respond addictively to sugar, we have got to watch our blood sugar closely, and the elimination diet sometimes eliminates so many foods that it's really hard to keep it stable. And so I'm not going to go into that more. You can message me if you really are interested in learning more on my website, or you can use the contact page and I'll put that below. So again, believe in it. And after the 75 days, I'm way past that. I'm definitely feeling better. My gut's better. I had some issues that have balanced out, but the road to get there was kind of rough. So this is the second thing. First thing I learned, adapt, be prayerful, don't jump into a diet. I mean, how many times have I said that on here? I hate diet culture, but because it was a doctor-sponsored natural elimination diet that seemed safe, I dove in too quick. I'm repenting of that. But I'm hoping it will make me a better coach with the people that I work with, because now I know what to look for, and now I know how to work them through these little tricky things. My boss did it and did fine. He has a gut of steel. He's a man. He's strong. Like, he was like, why are you struggling so much? But I have a very sensitive system. I respond sensitively to blood sugar fluctuations. I have it in a good place, and I messed it up. And so I paid the price for that. The other thing that was different between me and him is I am more sensitive to supplements, to medications, to chemicals. For instance, I really respond to caffeine. I cannot take high levels of caffeine. It just jacks me up. I get sick. I get shaky. I cannot. So I should have known, again, if I would have been prayerful, I should have known that when I jump into all these supplements, again, they're good things. God created herbs in these shakes, but it was so heavily loaded with so many different things. It really was too much. And now that I've talked to other practitioners, now that as I was going through it, I'm like, what? Many told me, back off. It was too much too soon. So can you see how diving into any protocol, whether you find it online or in an office or in a book, and I'll suggest some books at home or in the bottom at home in the description box below, do it prayerfully. I'm begging you to spare you. I had a rough 75 days. It was not fun. And at first I was like, I hate this. This is not, I just wanted to throw the whole thing out. And once I was done, the Lord was like, okay, you ready for the reality check? Like, yes, this is good to help fix the body, but you've got to always be attuned and discerning for your own situation. So if you try an elimination diet, you may do something different where instead of taking out everything that's inflammatory, maybe you take out gluten for a while and then work really hard to keep your blood sugar stable. And I'll link my other video on blood sugar below that has some tips on how to do that. It may be that you just take out dairy. Maybe you're lactose intolerant and you need to just examine if it's dairy. There's lots of ways to do it. And I will put some articles below on from good registered dietitians and nutritionists on their hesitations and things to watch for on an elimination diet. Not that it's bad, just things to watch for. The second part is supplementation, which I believe in. And I take several supplements that have been game changers for me. And so that's why I dove in. I was just like, oh, this is going to be great. And it was too much too quick. So if your body is sensitive, you might need to cut a dose in half or even less than that at first and give your body a chance to, your gut, a chance to process it. I work with one practitioner who's done a lot of detoxing, a lot. And when I came into him all excited about this new program, he kind of started giggling and laughing a little bit. He goes, now, okay, yeah, it looks like a great program, JC, but if you go too fast, he said, you're going to have 30% at least of your patients that are going to get really sick. I was one of them. I was like, oh, I'm healthy. I'm great. Okay, yeah, now I know what you're talking about. So detoxing the body is a very sensitive thing. Again, my boss did fine. Some people, it's like, what? This is fine. And I feel great. This has been a great program. But detoxing and messing with the body, for instance, there's a duct that comes out of your gallbladder and goes down into your liver. And my doc would check it. And he says it can get backed up. Your system, just because you take in products meant to detox all that bad bacteria, your body has to clear it out. It has to be processed through your gallbladder, your liver, your intestines. Like, it has to move through. And if you detox too fast and it backs up in the body, you're going to feel awful. So all of these cleanses and detoxes, again, this could be exactly the thing that the Lord is leading you to. But I am begging you to make it a faith-based process where you let him lead and let him guide, like every other video I have on my channel. Even when it comes to gut health, which seems to be not even something we would even pray about. It's just so weird. But how sick has it made some of us? How much has it disrupted our lives? Yes, the Lord is interested in our healing. And he also knows there's a lot out there being shouted at us about the answer. This is what you do. This is what you do. And even good, wonderful gut programs that have worked well for, what did my doc say? 30%, 70% do fine on it. 30%, we may struggle a bit. So here's the thing. I'm going to recommend some supplements that I think are really solid, well-made, good products that are whole food based, that are not full of fillers and terrible things that will hurt you. But be careful about the list below. The number one thing you may start with before any of the craziness, if you eat food and feel distress pretty much right after eating, if some people eat and they're okay, and a couple hours later it starts to hit, that's more gut, I need a probiotic imbalance in the gut. When you eat and you feel the distress right away, some digestive enzymes will be so helpful. They'll be your best friend. So I'll recommend Zypan below. It's my favorite brand because it's a 100-year-old company that's so great, and I've recommended it in another video. But if your gut is just disrupted right when you eat, your tummy is having a hard time breaking things down, and some digestive enzymes may be all you need to worry about. But if you don't really feel it until later, sometimes with certain food sensitivities, you may not feel it till a migraine a couple of days later, and you never connect it to that food. That's why an elimination diet is so good, because it's like you can't always tell a food sensitivity right from when you eat the food. Sometimes it takes a while for your body to have a reaction. And the reaction could not, maybe something different than like chronic diarrhea or constipation or gas or bloating. It may be a skin condition. It may be brain fog. It may be weakness, tiredness, anxiety, depression. There's a lot more to it. So I'm going to put a really good article below from Dr. Will Cole. I think it sums up very well what the process can look like. I'm also going to link 2 books that are very, very similar to what we do in our clinic. Very similar programs. And I'm going to link them if you want more information. Now, again, read them carefully. Take the pieces from all of this information that the Lord says applies to you. I am not advocating everything in the description box below for you. I'm not saying go try all of it and dive in, as obviously I have just explained. My story taught me how bad that can be for some of us. But some of these products can be game changers in the way you feel, can help you finally find balance. And when your gut calms down, the brain, you can calm down anxiety, depression. It can have a link and an impact on so many other things. So yes, pray about this. I know it's weird, but I feel much better now after my program and everything I've learned on this. I'm a believer that the Lord wants us at full capacity, as much as is possible. Sometimes we have to battle disease and struggle and long-term chronic illness. That's part of living in a fallen and broken world. But occasionally when we are prayerful, I really believe he can help us bring our health into the best possible state. And if your gut is disrupting your life, this may be the direction you want to go. Okay, this is almost 20 minutes long. I hope this hasn't been TMI. If you have questions, ask in the comments below, and I'll try to ask the best I can. I will probably direct you to other experts for the most part. I do this a lot at work, but I really think there are people that are much smarter than me. So I'll offer all the resources I can in the box. I'll also come back and add more as I find them. So if you see some that aren't talked about, they're in there. But I just really believe that a faith-based approach to everything that we do with our health is the way to go. He is the ultimate expert. He knows your body inside and out better than you ever could, or better than a practitioner ever could. Even with their medical history and all the information they take from you, God knows best. So let him guide you through this process. Hope that was helpful, guys. Have a great week.